Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to 2018, and before we get into the actual video, I hope all of y'all had a very fun, eventful, and safe holiday season. Spend some time with your friends, your family, your loved ones, or if you were a social reject, stayed at home playing video games and clearing your backlog, I hope y'all had a good time too. Me, myself, and I, on the other hand, well, speaking of backlogs, this video right here is dedicated to a certain kind of individual. Those who are a glutton for punishment, who like to see my ever-growing and ongoing struggles with my video game backlog. I'm talking about you, Kwaku. I know you're watching it. You're like the first two people that watch these videos when they go live. This video is about a platform that I recently acquired, a platform that I have surpassed a pretty healthy library in under 2 months of owning the system. I'm of course talking about, ladies and gentlemen, it needs no introduction, the Nintendo Switch. In just 2 months that I've owned the system, I've collected so many games that are worthy of doing an actual collection video. That is definitely saying something, because I don't recall the last time I was ever able to do that for a Nintendo console within the first 2 months of owning it, within the first year. Not the 3DS, not the Wii, and it's certainly not the Wii U. It's why I don't own it. But the Switch is a new Nintendo. Or at least a more functioning, less irritating Nintendo. Baby steps here, people. Baby steps. So in this video, I'm going to be going over all the games that I've purchased from early November to now in the beginning of January. Or in this case, the end of December, because I haven't bought anything yet in January. Well, that's probably going to change with that rumor direct coming out. Let's go over all the physical releases. Now, the first game here is a game that really needs no introduction. Everybody who owns a Switch pretty much owns this title. It's the swan song for the Nintendo Wii U, the first major must-own title for the Switch, and if you bought the system and you don't own this, I'm kind of questioning why you even own a Switch. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Now, there's not much else that I can say about this game that really, if you haven't seen any other Nintendo Switch video, like, what's the point? I mean, everyone said all there is to say about this game. So, I'm gonna do you one better. I am not really a big fan of Breath of the Wild. Now, don't get it twisted. I enjoy the game. I think the game is amazing in a lot of ways. But as it stands, this whole hype and excitement from people saying that this is one of the greatest games, the most genre-defining titles, yeah, maybe if you haven't played an Elder Scrolls or The Witcher 3, I guess, but as it stands, it's just an alright open world game. It's got a lot of interesting quirks to it, like the physics in this game is just out of this freaking world, and I do like how it is very open-ended and you can play the game how you like to play it, but the story pretty much sucks ass. It's basically non-existent. The weapon system, not a big fan of. I know that's so controversial and everyone's gonna crucify me over that, saying, oh, well, you just need to get good, you don't understand. No, I just don't like games that introduce those sort of things and they make it insanely irritating. But yeah, as it stands, I'm having fun with this game. I think it's really good in a lot of respects. Is it the breath of fresh air that the Zelda franchise needed? Well, to be honest, not really, since the series was never stale. I mean, every single game, what kind of helped them sell themselves is that it was so different than the last, going from Ocarina to Wind Waker, and then from Wind Waker to Twilight Princess. You know, they were all different. So this is just another different Zelda title. I think a sequel would be pretty cool if they were able to expand upon some of the things and streamline the more annoying aspects. But as it stands, it's a great game that I have a lot of issues with, but it's something I think people shouldn't pass up on. See, Nintendo fanboys? Just because you're critical of a game doesn't mean you can't recommend it to people. Next up on the list, we have the first in a series of videos that I've been doing highlighting third-party games on the Switch. The series is titled Make the Switch. We have LA Noire. Now, what's really significant about this game is that, yes, it is another HD remaster. It's a game from last generation that we are seeing coming back on the new generation consoles. But what's significant about this is that this is the first time Rockstar has been on a Nintendo home console since who knows when. I can't remember the last time Rockstar released one of their major titles on a Nintendo platform. The last game I know they released on a Nintendo system was Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, which, let's be real, that's not relevant in the grand scheme of things. But they decided to port this game, and I think this is a test for the future of Rockstar on Nintendo platforms. Whether or not they bring Grand Theft Auto 5 to the Switch is still up in the air. I, for one, would love it. But if it's anything like LA Noire, I'm kind of worried about the performance of the game, because GTA 5 is a very demanding game. It still makes PCs and the current generation consoles chug to some respects. Not like you can barely play it, but it definitely gives the consoles a run for their money. So bringing GTA 5 to the Switch, even though the Switch is an Xbox 360 with like a little bit more power, it kind of worries me because this could chug at times. But nonetheless, I think it's a worthy of your, I guess, investment, is worth checking out because it's fun. I like these detective sort of games. I'm a big fan of Case Closed and Law and Order, so of course this is right up my alley. Unfortunately, like I said, some of the performance issues that happen later in the game and it being $10 more than the competition it's kind of like, if you own a PlayStation, get it on that. Don't buy it on the Switch unless you want to play it portably and you like being a glutton for punishment by spending more money than you have to. Anyways, next up, we have a game that I have no qualms whatsoever spending full price on. I thought I'd have an issue with it considering this is a really old game. It's 6+ years old. It's been on everything under the sun. It's probably going to be ported to fucking refrigerators with TVs in them. I'm of course talking about the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Like I mentioned, this game is on everything. I'm surprised it isn't on smartphones at this point. And give it time, iPhone X2. But Skyrim is just one of those games that, yeah, it's full price again. Yeah, why am I spending the money on this again? But Skyrim is just, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Every time I play Skyrim, I always find myself lost. Like, it doesn't even matter what I'm doing, what type of character class I'm playing. I just have fun with it. And this version on the Switch is a fantastic bargain. It comes with all the DLC, to be expected. If it didn't, I'd be kind of scared and I wouldn't recommend this. And it runs very solid. It runs a smooth 30 frames per second whether you're playing in handheld and docked, and there's no weird type of performance issues that you would see, at least not to my recollection. This thing right here is awesome. I have sunk so many hours just playing it on break at work. It's just like, wow, I used to dream about doing this sort of thing. And y'all know me, I'm not going to try to sell y'all on something just because, oh, it's portable. But no, this thing right here, I wholeheartedly recommend. Whether you've played Skyrim to death on the other systems or you've never played it before, definitely check this out. Next up, the third game in my Make the Switch series, one that I have just found a new love for this type of game, and I'm so happy that this came out on the Switch, because if it didn't, I probably never would have played it. I'm of course talking about Azure Striker Gunvolt. This is the Striker Pack, which comes with both games from the 3DS, remastered on the Nintendo Switch. It comes with a bevy of upgrades. Not really going to list them on here, considering, well, all it tells me on the back is high-res graphics and 30 frames to 60 frames. But I'm sure there's other intricacies that exist in this version. But yeah, if you are a Mega Man fanatic, a Mega Man fiend, and you've just been, well, you can't say it now because Mega Man's coming back with Capcom, but you just, like, the sheer disrespect that Capcom has been treating Mega Man with, and then the failure and the disaster that was Mighty Number 9, this thing right here fills the void. It's Mega Man on steroids, and you guys are going to have so much fun with this. I seriously regret not picking this up on the 3DS when they came out, but now that I have them on the Switch, I'm going to sing the praises of Azure Striker Gunvolt as many times as I can. And it's only $40 too, so I'm pretty sure when it goes on sale at places like Best Buy, you can scoop that for like $30. Not bad at all. Now onto a game that, admittedly, I haven't put that much time with on the Switch version. In general, I haven't put that much time with this game because if you've seen my PlayStation 4 collection video, I already owned this game, and I'm of course talking about Disgaea 5. This is the complete edition. It comes with all the post-release content, and yeah, like I mentioned, I bought Disgaea 5 when it came out on PS4. I got it as part of a buy two get one free deal, and with the Gamer Club Unlocked, it came down to $47. But I never played it. I always said I'll get back to it eventually, but when I saw this was coming out on Switch, I knew I had to pick this up because Disgaea, for me, I've had the most amount of fun when I've been playing it portably on the Vita. Disgaea 3, I love that game to death. Disgaea 4, I own that on PS4, but I didn't play that much. So why in the world would I buy Disgaea 5 on PS4 if I know I should have bought a game like it on the Vita? Well, because I am an idiot and I don't deserve to have any disposable income, because when I do have that, I will rebuy games that I've already purchased time and time again. So here we have Disgaea 5. If you are a person who loved Final Fantasy Tactics, basically Japanese strategy games like Fire Emblem, you're going to get a real kick out of Disgaea. I love the humor it's in this game. It's so freaking funny. And yeah, if you are a strategy fanatic, you're going to get a kick out of this. It'll hopefully hold us over until they come out with a new Final Fantasy Tactics or the next mainline Fire Emblem game. But you can't go wrong. This right here is like a 100+ hour strategy game. There's so much to do in this series. And if you love Disgaea 5, go back and check out all the other titles. Next up, a game that I'm surprised that the Nintendo Switch port was so decent. Dragonball Xenoverse 2. It's another game I did a video on Make the Switch, which you can check out on my channel. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Xenoverse series, but this was $20, so hey, why not? And yeah, I'm having fun with it. It's a pretty decent use of $20. It's Dragon Ball. It's one of the OGs, my ride and die. And if you have friends and you like running parallel quests with them, this is a pretty decent multiplayer title. So yeah, you can't go wrong. I've seen a lot of people get more enjoyment out of this series than me, so maybe I'm just in the minority and I don't like it that much, but it's worth checking out if you need a Dragon Ball game and you're going to get time out of this as opposed to some of the other anime titles as of late. Next up on here, it's one of my more, I loved this game when I played it on the PS4. Why did I buy it on the Switch? Oh, that's right, Black Friday, $20. We have Batman, the Telltale series. This is the complete first season. And had this not been on sale for $20, I probably wouldn't have bought it. I've re-bought every single Telltale game I've owned at least twice, whether it's Walking Dead Season 1 and 2, The Wolf Among Us. I own a lot of Telltale games. I love playing them over and over again. And I thought, hey, I can play the Batman Telltale games with me wherever I want. Yeah, this thing runs like complete gutter trash. I mean, if you play Telltale games in general, you know they run like shit. Well, the newer ones anyway. But this one right here on the Switch is just so ugly and just really, really bad. It's playable, don't get me wrong, but it's not ideal. Yeah, you're better off playing it on other systems. Just for a little bit more enjoyment. Just a tad bit prettier. Next up, one of the first of many Wii U ports on the Nintendo Switch, we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I originally was going to pass on this because $60 for a full price Wii U port is just out of this freaking world. I know they have battle mode in this, so yeah, it's new content. But as it stands, like, this definitely should have been $40 on release. However, that doesn't change the fact that Mario Kart is a very fun game, having all the stuff unlocked from the get-go with all the DLC, and battle mode is so much freaking fun. And it's kind of like, okay, I'll justify spending $47 with Gamer Club unlocked, so you win this round, Nintendo. And you can't go wrong. Mario Kart is a tried and true Nintendo franchise. Playing it online is very fun when the servers are working, you don't get kicked out randomly. But I'm still wishing that they would definitely do something with Mario Party, because that series needs a proper revival. Now, on to the final big Nintendo release of the year. Of course, we have Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I've done 2 impressions videos on it. First one was like 10 to 15 hours, and the second one I just dropped when I was like 30 plus hours into it. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying the crap out of this game. It is a slow burn. This game definitely does baby step you into this world. They try to tell you every single thing you need to know about this game. It's very good because of that. One thing that I do think is kind of an issue, and this will definitely turn off new players, is there's no way to review any of the tutorials in this game. And when they bombard you with tutorials, they bombard you with tutorials. So that's one of my biggest faults with the title, that if you don't know anything about this and you skip the tutorials or you just forgot and you want a refresher, you're going to have to go look it up online. So game design wise, this thing makes some really odd choices, but as it stands, it's a great game. It's got a good story, great gameplay. Presentation is, yeah, it needs a couple of patches because it runs like shit, but good game nonetheless. Worth checking out on the Switch. Now on to one of the more surprising titles for the Nintendo Switch, a crossover that no one was asking for, but it ended up being kind of cool. We have Mario+rabbids Kingdom Battle. This is actually a Ubisoft crossover between the Rabbids and Super Mario Bros. Wow. Couple that with an XCOM strategy-like aesthetic. Yeah, who in the world was asking about this? Who pitched this game and got it greenlit? But you know, apparently it got greenlit for a reason, because this game is pretty cool. It is essentially baby's first XCOM. So if you are a fan of strategy games, this is like the perfect introduction to them. I'm having a lot of fun with this for what it is, and yeah, I never thought in my wildest imagination that this sort of game would work, because when you're looking at crossovers with Nintendo characters, it's usually something crappy like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games or whatever, but this right here is a legitimate strategy game. Very surprising. As I go and drop it on the floor. Come on, man. You couldn't drop like Batman Telltale or some shit like that. And now on to the final physical release for the Nintendo Switch. I believe this is the last game I bought physically with Mario and Rabbids. Resident Evil Revelations Collections has come with both 1 and 2. Unfortunately, only the first game is on a game cart. The second is a digital download only. So as you can see right here from the top, yeah, internet downloaded as well as a micro SD card. Yeah, that's a trend that I am not looking forward to the Nintendo Switch if they're going to be doing this half partition this, half partition that. It's not cool at all. But the Resident Evil Revelation games were titles that I missed out on. I really didn't get too much into them. Like the first game I played a little bit, and the second one I just didn't touch at all because I heard it was kind of eh. But now I get the chance to... Someone is blasting fireworks. Yeah, they got some leftovers from the new year, I guess. Yeah, now I get a chance to experience both of them. And from what I've heard, this is a pretty decent port. So, yeah, the Resident Evil Revelations collection. Now, as you can see here, these are all my physical titles. I have a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 physical games on the Switch in just under 2 months of owning it. And that's not counting all the games that I'm kind of like skeptical on getting. You know what I'm saying? But now let's move into some of the physical games, because I do have a couple of them. Since I bought a micro SD card, I might as well just take advantage of the eShop deals as they call them. Basically, the eShop deals that are good are the third-party ones and not Nintendo. First game up here, I have my newest acquisition, SteamWorld Dig 2. This was a game that I've been on the fence about for a while. I heard a lot of people talking about it, saying it was like the next best thing to come out of these Metroid-esque titles. And the funny thing is, this released the same month as Metroid Samus Returns. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, don't get Samus Returns, get SteamWorld Dig. It's so much better. And those are some pretty big words, some pretty ballsy words, considering we barely get a Metroid game. So yeah, I bought that for $15 just a few days ago, and I am having a freaking blast with it. Next up, we have Oxenfree. It was $5 on release. I wanted a good story type adventure game for the Nintendo Switch, you know, those sort of Telltale kind of games. And yeah, since it was $5, I heard it was pretty decent. I said, hey, why not? Of course, I got my physical collection here. That's the demo for Monster Hunter Double Cross. I actually created a Japanese eShop account, which is very easy to do. I think it's the easiest on the Nintendo Switch more than any other platform. Wish this game would come out to the States. Capcom, what in the world are you doing? Let's see, any other digital games right here. I got Splatoon 2. As you guys know, one of my awesome peeps here on YouTube gifted me his spare code for Splatoon 2. Again, I thank you so much, brother man. Very fun game. It's like Super Mario Odyssey and Zelda Breath of the Wild in the sense that it challenges the norm of what it means to be a Nintendo title, which means it has online and shooting guns, even though they're paint. But yeah, it's still kind of rubs me the wrong way because of its archaic online systems and how you try to squad up with your friends. And it's just like, for Nintendo, it's 2 steps forward, 1 giant step backwards when it comes to online. But it's a fun game nonetheless, and they are still supporting it. I Am Setsuna right here. Got this for $20. It was on sale a few weeks ago. Very traditional Japanese RPG in every literal meaning of the word. It's inspired by classic JRPGs such as Chrono Trigger. So if you like those sort of games, I think you'll like this. However, I do got to stress this. It's not really the most groundbreaking JRPG out there. It doesn't do anything different. It's pretty safe for the most part. But for $20, getting a game that's like 30, 40 hours, I don't mind that at all. Even at $40, I think that if you bought this, it would have been just an okay purchase. You know what I'm saying? But I Am Setsuna, they're using as the groundwork for the sequel, Lost Sphere. So hopefully that sequel is better. And going into my all software, I believe I have 2 more titles here. Well, this is Pinball FX3. We got that for free, so it's like whatever. The Project Octopath Traveler demo currently It's, if not my most anticipated game for this year. I don't know why. It's just so awesome, man. We have Rocket League. You know, I had to support Psyonix. I loved Rocket League, played it on PS4, and now you can play it wherever you go, so yay. Hulu, because it's the only app on here. The Lost Sphere demo, of course, my other games, and of course Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap. All the OG fans should know what Wonder Boy is, but if you haven't, pick it up on Nintendo Switch. It is an awesome buy and you won't regret it. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was my entire Nintendo Switch collection. I gotta say, for owning the system for less than 3 months, I've surpassed a pretty good library. And 2018, if it's anything like 2017, but with less ports and more original new games from Nintendo, I think that they're going to just blow the roof off of everything and give more people incentive to own a Nintendo Switch outside of just, hey, I can play these games anywhere now. But then again, I would love to play Fallout New Vegas anywhere because that game is so amazing. Comment down below if you want a Fallout New Vegas remaster. For me to you for now, my name is NGS signing out. And what is your favorite Nintendo Switch game that is on the list? And yes, I know people are wondering why I don't have Super Mario Odyssey. My brother actually has it, and I haven't played it yet because he's working through it, so that'll get touched eventually. For me to you for now, my name is NGS signing out. Like always, I will catch you guys later. Please, Bethesda. Please give us Fallout New Vegas.